It's November 9th, and you know what that means. Motivation Monday is back. Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Brawn Body Podcast. And as you all have requested, I'm actually sitting here today with John Harned, the Diamond Doctor. You can find him on Instagram. If you have a problem finding his page, let me know. I'll link you over to him. And we're here to talk to you today about people and their word. You see, there was a time when I felt like people's words actually meant something. People would say things, and then they would actually do them. They would follow through on them. And it seems like today, in our current age, that's just gone. I can't even tell you how many times people have told me they're going to do something. Yeah, I'll send you money for that. Or, yeah, I'll do this for you. I'll do that later. And then I end up doing it because it's never getting done. And not only that, but sometimes people will do stuff, but they're only putting in half the work. You know, maybe they say, I'm going to go wash the car. I'll wash your car for you. I go out an hour later and they washed half my car. And they're like, yeah, I just hosed off the other half quick, I'm like, no. You said you're going to do it. Go and do the freaking job. Get it done right or don't do it at all. So while I'm getting fired up about this, I'm going to hand this over to John and see what he has to say about the whole concept of people's words actually meaning something, doing something you're actually going to do, and not just doing it, but actually doing it right.
Thanks, Dan. First of all, thanks for having me. It's a gorgeous day out. Did a nice little walk beforehand. But like you said, yeah, you can find me at Diamond Doctor 14. I believe there's an underscore in there after Diamond. Or jharned_14. The Diamond Doctor is kind of the start of my PT account. But kind of the topic, of just people not really doing what they say they're going to do, or they say they're going to do it, or to be frank, and then just half-ass it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here, but whatever.
Say whatever the heck you want.
Whatever.
Free country.
It's Monday, right?
For now.
But the biggest thing it comes down to is just a lot of the time people almost kind of, I feel like if they don't do something fully or don't do it, or don't do something that they're going to do, it's almost because, one, either they just don't prioritize things or have a list. Two, they just don't care. Three, they're lazy. That's a big thing that I kind of notice, especially, with the younger generation. And four, they're almost kind of looking at from the side of like, okay, how is this going to benefit me? Or, always looking for a handout. And that's kind of the big kind of theme in today's kind of world is, I'll do this for you, but what is it going to, what am I getting in return? Or how is this going to help me? And it kind of, I don't know where it stems from, whether it be social media, just, or societal stigmas that kind of come about and that we're grown up on, but like nobody wants to do anything. Nobody wants to put in the work. Everybody wants, to be top of the line and not, give their effort or dig in the trenches. But, when it comes down to like keeping your word and doing something, like for me, that's big. If you say you're going to do something and don't do it, that's strike one. I might give you another chance. If you keep kind of like not really doing what you say you're going to do, then it's just cut off. I can't rely on you. And a big thing, you got to be reliable. Kind of to double back in like the PT world, especially the sports realm, like reliability and accountability is big. If somebody can't count on you to do your job and go above and beyond, one, you're not going to have it for very long. And two, what does that say about your character? And a lot of it also comes down to morals and values. Mm-hmm. Like, I was raised as like, you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. You start something, you're going to finish it. A lot of times, life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. You're going to dig through some shit and get dirty. We've all been there, whether it be studying for PT school or grad school, whatever you're doing, or, whether you have that job that's working really long hours, or you just got a lot on your plate and you're pulled in all different directions. It's how are you going to respond to that? Budget your time. Prioritize. Don't bite off more than you can chew. That's another big thing. Mm-hmm. Know your limits, but know your limits well and follow through on everything. Because then people are going to recommend you, or, whether it be for, a job, or whether it be just this guy, you can count on Dan. You can count on Sally. You can count on Lisa, whoever it is. They're going to, if you need help, they're going to help you, based on what they have going on in their life or what they're doing, but they're going to help, get it done. So the biggest thing just comes down to, like, what are your values? What do you believe in? And, like, just get it done. Get after it.
That, and I mean, a good man always knows his limitations. That's a nice quote from Clint Eastwood. And if you just keep putting stuff on yourself, then you're not going to be able to do everything. It's trying to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you try and just, you got that little bit of peanut butter left in the bottom of the jar, and you're trying to spread it across your bread. Obviously, that's not going to taste good at all because you just spread it too thin. You got to layer it on thick. If you want something done right, you got to layer yourself on thick there. You can't just kind of give a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit there and spreading yourself across so many different disciplines all thin. You got to go in and commit 100% or just don't do it at all. I'd rather have someone tell me, look, I can't do that right now, or I'm not going to do that right now, than to tell me they're going to do it. And then 2 days later, I find out they didn't do it and I have to do it. And, with this comes accountability. I think of this with the gym all the time because, as you know, I like to get up early, get there and get it done. And I've had dozens and dozens of people, probably even more than that, over the past 4 or 5 years while I'm in college, telling me, hey, I want to get up early and go to the gym with you and exercise. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes I see them there, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll get a text from them at 8 o'clock. Oh, sorry, forgot to set my alarm, or, I just didn't feel like getting up, or whatever it is. You told me you were going to be there. I was there. I showed up. You didn't. So what does that say about you? You would rather lay in bed for a couple more hours than to get up and get moving, start having a positive impact on your life? Not my life, your life. When you get up and get after it, you're bettering your future, your own life. You are in control of your day. The day doesn't run you, you run the day. So with that, just being accountable. So if you have a friend or someone that keeps slacking off and they're tapping out on you, they're like, no, I know I said I was going to do that, but, maybe next week or maybe tomorrow. Call them up and be like, what the heck is going on? Why do you keep doing this? Maybe they got something going on. Maybe they need someone to talk to. You never know. Sometimes people don't do this stuff intentionally. Maybe they got something going on. And then sometimes, again, maybe they're just lazy. Maybe they're just not putting in the work. Maybe they just aren't getting what they want out of it. You never know. But if you call them up, then you at least get that peace of mind for yourself of knowing what is going on. So I'm going to get off my horse. I'm going to hand it to John for any closing thoughts, and then we'll close up here.
Thanks, Dan. Big thing that I like, what you kind of said is don't let the day run you, you run the day. And I mean, whether you get up early to do stuff or you sleep in and you're up later at night grinding, whatever, if you're a morning bird or a night owl, whatever the case may be is, wake up every day and just attack it. Be on the grind, fall in love with the grind. Dig in the trenches. Just because, when you're looking back, 2 or 3 years, whatever goals you have in life, for me, I'm studying for multiple certifications right now, continuing ed, so I've, been grinding on that, chipping away on that. So, whatever your goals are, set those goals, write them down. I'm a big, reminders guy on my iPhone. I'll set reminders for the weekend of what I have to get done, and then I know shit, okay, I still need to get this done, or I got all of it done, or it kind of keeps you on track. But work towards those goals, have them written down, and then it's just easier to kind of fall in love with whatever process, whatever trench work you're going through, rather than just kind of waking up and be feeling overwhelmed, crap, today's another day. That's another thing that I hate. Freaking hate when people wake up and be damn, this day sucks.
Not today.
Or, damn, I don't want to go to work. Well, no shit, nobody wants to go to work. But, it's a vehicle to get you where you like money, you like doing things. If you wake up and you already have that negative mindset, you're screwed.
Yeah. I
almost dropped the F-bomb. I wasn't going to do that, but that's a little aggressive. But, you're screwed. Have a positive outlook on life. Look at where you came from. Look where you are. Look at where you're going or where you want to go. have dreams, have goals, write them down, and figure out what you got to do to get there. But, like, it's all the, like, not living up to, your word, or whether it's your word for somebody else or your word for you. Like, that's a big thing that, you kind of got to figure out is, like, if you tell yourself you're going to do something and don't do it, shit. You better look at yourself in the mirror and do some soul searching. Yeah. Figure out who you are and what you want to be and who you want to become. But, set these goals, whatever your aspirations are, write them down and just work towards them. Chip away. You don't have to grind, you don't have to go 110, percent every day, all gas, no brakes, but chip away at things and keep your word to other people. Keep your word to yourself. Fall in love with the process and just stick true to your values. Mm-hmm. Don't let yourself down as a person. That's not fun. That ain't cool. But, yeah. It's really all there is to it. Get after it.
Yeah.
And,
that ties in with some of our other podcasts from the past. Earlier this year, we were talking about legacies. So we talked about Greg Plitt. We talked about Chadwick Boseman. And although they both passed, their legacy lives on because people remember them for the good things that they did. Think about that. What is your legacy? What is it right now? What do you want it to be? Do you want your legacy to be, oh, yeah, he said I always said he was going to do something. She said she was always going to do things, but she never did. Or like, yeah, she showed up, but that was about it. Never went the extra mile, never did anything else. Or do you want people to remember you as the person who always showed up, who always did what they said they were going to do, whose word meant something? How do you want to go down in the books? What impact do you want to have on those future generations? Because you never know who you're going to impact. Maybe it's one person. Maybe it's 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people. Who knows? But if you just keep walking through your day and just letting the day run you, you're not going to have that impact on anyone.
To bounce off that, in a day and age where we kind of like social media is so prevalent and, between retweets and likes and double taps on, the gram and stuff like that, we kind of get caught up in the whole screen thing and like how people are viewing you through social media. Mm-hmm. I think you can make it switch like how people view you in regular life. So get some real life likes rather than just social media likes. Like, you want to be reliable and accountable or whatever it is. And, you want people to kind of like that word of mouth, like, yeah, like, Sarah, she's very reliable. She sticks true to her word. When she says she's going to do something, she's going to do it. She's always there for me, like, yada, 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 whatever the case may be. And like, that's just going to help you out in life. Like, you don't know who people know. So, that those positive energies, those positive vibes spread about you, and you're just much more approachable, and it's just going to make your life easier down the road.
Yeah. Make sure your real life matches your digital life.
Facts. Retweet. Send it.
All right. Well, with that, happy Monday. Hope you all have a great week. Keep this energy going all week long. And again, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, send a like, and follow us on social media if you don't already. As you know, I'm at Brawn Body with a W. And again, you can find John over at Diamond Doctor 14 or J Harned 14. And again, if you're having an issue finding that, just let me know and I'll send you his link.
And shit, throw on a freaking fire song and wake your ass up this Monday. Shit.
Have a great week.